Welcome to Tungal online classes. Today we are going to discuss about the new topic, that is the directional cosines. That is what? Directional cosines. Before going to discuss about the topic of directional cosines, once again we will recall the rectangular components of a given vector quantity in the two-dimensional plane. Already in the last class we discussed. Once again we will recall it. So here I consider xy plane. I consider xy plane. So in that xy plane, I place a given vector a bar. So which plane I consider here? Xy plane is considered. In that given xy plane, I placed a vector quantity a bar. If we observe the given vector a bar, this vector is making certain angle with respect to the x-axis, certain angle with respect to the x-axis. So here I assuming that the given vector a bar is making alpha angle with respect to the x-axis. The given vector will be making how much angle with respect to the x-axis? Alpha angle will be making with respect to the x-axis. If you look at the diagram, the same vector a bar, that is also making some more angle with respect to the y-axis also. With respect to the y-axis also. That angle will be represented by beta. So here I mentioned two different angles, not theta 90 minus theta. I have taken two different angles. One is alpha. What is the alpha? Angle made by the given vector a bar with respect to the x-axis. And what is the beta? Angle made by the same vector with respect to the y-axis respectively. Y-axis respectively. Now, what values I want to go to calculate? So I want to calculate their cosine values, that is cos alpha comma cos beta values I want to calculate. Which values I am going to calculate? Cos alpha comma cos beta. So here for calculation of the cos alpha comma cos beta value, what I will do? From this vector I will draw two normals. Onto the x-axis comma y-axis respectively. For calculating the cos alpha comma cos beta values, what I am doing here? Just I draw the two normals onto the x-axis comma y-axis respectively. So we will give the some letters. This is the O, P, Q, and this is the what? R. First I will consider the right angle triangle OPQ. Triangle OPQ. So from the triangle OPQ, how can we write cos alpha value? How can we write cos alpha value? What is the definition of the cos theta? Adjacent side by the hypotenuse. So from this right angle triangle OPQ, cos alpha is equal to OQ by OP. OQ by OP. So what is the value of OQ? If OP bar will be representing the given vector quantity, which is placed in the xy plane. In the last class, we resolved that vector into the two rectangular components and they will be mentioned as AX. AX is denoting the x component of the given vector, along the x-axis. Similarly, y component of the vector A bar along the y-axis will be represented by along the y-axis will be represented by AY. Again, what is the AX? X component of the given vector A bar along the x-axis. AY is indicating what? Y component of the given vector A bar along the y-axis respectively. Now, in the place of OQ, its magnitude value is equal to how much? AX only. Therefore, in the place of OQ, what I will write? AX. OP is giving the magnitude of a given vector. The magnitude of the given vector A bar will be represented by A. Therefore, cos alpha value is equal to what I got? AX by A. Cos alpha is equal to what? AX by A. Similarly, I will take one more triangle, that is OPR. What is that? Triangle OPR will be considered. From the right angle triangle OPR, we will write cos beta value. Again, for this triangle OPR, OR is the adjacent side and OP is the hypotenuse. So cos beta value is equal to what? OR by OP. OR by OP. What is the OR value? AY. OR value is equal to what? AY. OP value is equal to what? A. So what we got here? We got cos alpha comma cos beta values. Which values we got here? Cos alpha comma cos beta value. Once again see here. If the given vector A bar is placed in the two-dimensional plane, if the given vector A bar is placed in the two-dimensional plane, that vector A bar is making alpha angle with respect to the x-axis and beta angle with respect to the y-axis respectively. And I calculated the cosine values of alpha comma beta. What is cos alpha comma cos beta representing? Cosine values of alpha comma beta, which are the angles that is made by the given vector A bar with respect to the x-axis as well as y-axis respectively. This is for two-dimensional plane. That is for what? Two-dimensional plane. Here cos alpha comma cos beta will be calling as directional cosines. Cos alpha comma cos beta is nothing but what? Directional cosines. This is for what? Only two-dimensional plane. Now coming to the three-dimensional plane. So which plane we consider here? Three-dimensional plane. In the three-dimensional plane, we consider three different axes, that is x-axis, y-axis and z-axis respectively. Which axis we consider here? X-axis, y-axis and z-axis respectively. Now, if the same vector A bar is again placed in the xyz plane, the same vector A bar is placed where? In the xyz plane. In the xyz plane. Now, here also the vector A bar is making certain angle with respect to the x-axis. Is it right? So whenever the vector is placed in the given plane, that vector must be making certain angle with respect to the respective axis. Here also I am assuming that alpha is angle made by the vector A bar. Alpha is a what? Angle made by the vector A bar with respect to the x-axis, and beta is angle made by the same vector A bar. Beta is angle made by the same vector A bar with respect to the y-axis, and gamma is the third angle will be taken as a what? Gamma. If it is a two-dimensional plane, means what? Two angles are there. This is a three-dimensional plane. That's why we consider here three different angles. So gamma is the angle which is made by the given vector A bar with respect to the z-axis. According to the previous explanation, how can we calculate the cos alpha comma cos beta? Here also we are following the same method for getting the values of cos alpha comma cos beta comma cos gamma respectively. Here in the two-dimensional plane, the given vector will be resolved into two rectangular components. The given vector A bar will be resolved into what? Two rectangular components. So here in the case of xyz plane, the given vector A bar will be resolved into three rectangular components. Those rectangular components are indicated by ax comma ay comma az. Ax comma ay comma az are the rectangular components along x comma y and z axis respectively. So what we consider here, if the given vector A bar is placed in the xyz plane, we will resolve that vector into three rectangular components. Those are nothing but ax comma ay comma az respectively. So now we will define cos alpha value. cos alpha. What is the alpha? Angle made by the given vector with respect to the x-axis. So cos alpha value can be written as cos alpha is equal to what? Ax by a. Cos alpha is equal to what? Ax by a. And cos beta is equal to ay by a. Cos beta value is equal to what? Ay by a. And cos gamma value is equal to az by a. Cos alpha is equal to what? Ax by a. Cos beta is equal to what? Ay by a. And cos gamma is equal to what? Az by a. So this cos alpha comma cos beta comma cos gamma are also called what? Directional cosines. So what are the directional cosines? Cos alpha comma cos beta comma cos gamma are the directional cosines. What you got cos alpha here? Cos alpha is equal to ax by a, cos beta is equal to ay by a, and cos gamma is equal to az by a. And cos alpha, cos beta, cos gamma are calling as directional cosines. Now I want to calculate cos square alpha plus cos square beta plus cos square gamma value. What value I want to go calculate? Cos square alpha plus cos square beta plus cos square gamma. What is the cos alpha value? Ax by a. Cos square alpha ax square by a square. Ax square by a square. Cos beta is equal to ay by a. Cos square beta means ay square by a square plus az square by a square. So which value we are going to calculate? Cos square alpha plus cos square beta plus cos square gamma. That value is equal to ax square by a square plus ay square by a square plus az square by a square. Now here 1 by a square into 1 by a square will be the common factor. Ax square plus ay square plus az square. 1 by a square is the common factor. The remaining value is what? Ax square plus ay square plus az square. What a denotes? A denotes the magnitude of the given vector a bar. Magnitude of the given vector a bar. So the magnitude of a bar already we calculated. Magnitude of a bar which is equal to modulus a bar, that is equal to capital A, and its the formula is under root of ax square plus ay square plus az square. What is the formula for magnitude of the given vector? A is equal to under root of ax square plus ay square plus az square. If you are squaring on both sides, a square value is equal to what? Ax square plus ay square plus az square. Let it be equation number 1. This is the equation number 2. Substitute the equation 2 value in the equation 1. Then what you will get? Cos square alpha plus cos square beta plus cos square gamma is equal to, already in the numerator what is the value present? Ax square plus ay square plus az square by, in the place of a square what we have to write? Again ax square plus ay square plus az square. Ax square plus ay square plus az square. So these two values will be remain same, that is equal to what we will got? 1. So what you got here? Square of directional cosines. The sum of the square of the directional cosines, that is cos square alpha plus cos square beta plus cos square gamma is equal to what? 1. Again from this, so what you got here? Cos square alpha plus cos square beta plus cos square gamma is equal to 1. We know one formula. Sin square theta plus cos square theta is equal to 1. We know one basic formula. Sin square theta plus cos square theta is equal to what? 1. From this, cos square theta is equal to 1 minus sin square theta. Cos square theta is equal to what? 1 minus sin square theta. From that, we will write in the place of cos square alpha, we will write 1 minus sine square alpha plus 1 minus sine square beta plus 1 minus sine square gamma, which is equal to 1. So in the place of cos square alpha, what we wrote? 1 minus sine square alpha plus 1 minus sine square beta plus 1 minus sine square gamma is equal to 1. So therefore, this value is equal to 3. So 3 is equal to, if these negative terms will be sent to the right side, it becomes to what? 1 plus sine square alpha plus sine square beta plus sine square gamma. 3 is equal to what? 1 plus sine square alpha plus sine square beta plus sine square gamma. From this we will write sine square alpha plus sine square beta plus sine square gamma is equal to 2. Sine square alpha plus sine square beta plus sine square gamma is equal to what? 2. Or cos square alpha plus cos square beta plus cos square gamma is equal to 1. So this is the concept of directional cosines. Next topic is the what? Vector addition by the analytical method. Vector addition by the analytical method. Already we discussed the vector addition by the graphical method. In the graphical method, what we did? We built two vectors. Those two vectors will be represented by directed line segment, and the head of the first vector is joined with the tail of the second vector, and the resultant will be simply drawn from tail of the first vector to the head of the second vector. With that we told these vectors to be added vectorially. That only we discussed there. But coming to the analytical method, how can we add two given vector quantities? First, if you place any one of the vector in the given xy plane, we will resolve that vector into two rectangular components. One of the component is along x-axis, as well as another component will be acting along the y-axis. If you are placing two vectors in the given xy plane, first vector will be having its x component along the x-axis, as well as the second vector is also having its own x component along the x-axis respectively. Again repeating, if any two vectors will be placed in the xy plane, those two vectors will be having their respective x component along the x-axis as well as along the y-axis respectively. In this analytical method, what we are going to do? Simply the x component of the first vector will be added to the x component of the second vector. Y component of the first vector will be added to the y component of the second vector. So which will be giving the resultant vector of those two vectors. Again, what we are doing here? The x component of the first vector is added to the x component of the second vector. Y component of the first vector will be added to the y component of the second vector. Then those values will be giving the resultant vector. For that, I consider xy plane. Which plane we consider here? Xy plane is considered. In the xy plane, I consider the first vector p bar. And this p bar will be added to the second vector q bar. So how many vectors we are adding here? Two vectors we are adding here. So first vector will be considered as the vector p bar, which is added to the second vector q bar. For getting the resultant vector, the same principle we have to follow. What is the same principle? The resultant vector will be drawn from tail of the first vector to the head of the second vector. Before going to do that, first we will resolve the vector p bar along the x-axis as well as along the y-axis. If you resolve the vector p bar into the two rectangular components, this value is equal to x component of the vector p bar, say px, and this value will be is equal to Py. If you resolve the vector P bar into the x component as well as y component, Px value will be coming along the x axis and the Py value will be coming along the y axis respectively. Similar to the P bar, Q bar is also to be resolved. Q bar is also to be resolved into the two rectangular components. So this value will be is equal to Qx. That value will be is equal to what? Qx. And this value will be is equal to Qy. That value will be is equal to what? Qy. So Qx is denoting that x component of the vector Q bar along the x axis, and the Qy value is denoting that y component of the given vector Q bar along the y axis respectively. Now, so what we take in here? P bar is equal to, we will write Px I cap plus Py j cap. First vector P bar is equal to what? X component plus y component. Second vector Q bar is equal to what? Qx I cap plus Qy j cap. Qx I cap plus Qy j cap. Here both the vectors will be represented in the form of their rectangular components only. Rectangular components. Now, if we draw the resultant vector, resultant vector will be drawn from way to way. Tail of the first vector to the head of the second vector, so that R bar will be giving the resultant vector of those two vectors. Again, here R bar is also placed in the xy plane. If R bar is also placed in the xy plane, this R bar vector is also to be resolved into the x component as well as y component. Once again, see here. If vector P bar comma Q bar will be added vectorially, you will get one resultant vector. That resultant vector will be represented by R bar. This R bar is also placed in the xy plane only. If any one of the vector will be placed in the xy plane, so this vector will be resolved into its x component as well as y component. The x component of R bar will be taken as Rx and the y component of R bar will be taken as Ry. Therefore, from this figure I will write Rx value is equal to sum of Px and Qx. Rx value is equal to what? Sum of Px and Qx. Therefore, Rx value is equal to Px plus Qx. Rx value is equal to what? Qx plus Px. Next, Ry value. If you see this Ry value, which is a parallel to this portion, so therefore Ry value is equal to Py plus Qy. Ry value is equal to what? Py plus Qy. Equation number. So Rx is indicating what? X component of the given vector R bar, whose value will be numerically equal to Px plus Qx. Ry is the y component of the vector R bar, whose value numerically equal to what? Py plus Qy. Now once again, by the definition of the resolution of the vectors, if a vector quantity will be resolved into the rectangular components, if these two rectangular components will be added vectorially, these two components are producing one vector quantity. Those two vectors are also producing what? One vector quantity. Therefore, the resultant vector R bar can be written as R bar is equal to Rx I cap plus Ry j cap. Resultant vector R bar can be written as what? Rx I cap plus Ry j cap. So, substitute the values of Rx comma Ry. What is the value of Rx? Px plus Qx into I cap, px plus qx into I cap, and ry value is equal to what? Py plus qy into j cap. Py plus qy into j cap. So by using the analytical method, we are also calculated the resultant vectors of the two given vectors p bar comma q bar. So this is a vector notation. Now, how can we calculate magnitude of the given vector r? So if any one of the vector r bar will be represented by rx I cap plus ry j cap. Its magnitude is equal to under root of rx square plus ry square. If r bar is representing any vector quantity, its magnitude can be written as r is equal to under root of rx square plus ry square. So already you know the values of rx comma ry. What is the value of rx? Px plus qx. Therefore, this value is equal to px plus qx the whole square, and this value is equal to py plus qy whole square. So this equation will be giving the magnitude of the resultant vector r bar. Now, how can we calculate direction of a given vector? Direction of r. From this diagram, I am assuming that the vector r bar is making alpha angle with respect to the x-axis. From the given diagram, what I taken, the r bar resultant vector will be making alpha angle with respect to the x-axis. So how can we calculate its direction means? From this diagram, I want to calculate tan alpha value. From this right angle triangle, tan alpha can be written as ry by rx. So this is vector r bar. This angle is equal to alpha. Opposite side value ry. Adjacent side value is equal to what? Rx. So tan alpha is equal to opposite side by adjacent side. Tan alpha is equal to ry by rx. Already you know the value of ry. Py plus qy by px plus qx. So this is the value of tan alpha. By knowing the tan alpha value, you will say the resultant vector will be making this much angle with respect to the given x-axis. So this is the method for a calculation of what? Magnitude of the given resultant vector as well as direction of the given resultant vector. So this is the complete information about vector addition by using the analytical method.